Anyways, welcome to Bragging Rights, Season 3, Episode 14. Cracking on now, aren't we? Hosted as always at Tribal, sponsored as always by Comscaf. And don't forget to give us a like, subscribe. Most importantly, share an episode with a mate. But even more importantly than that, I lied, is hype. If you're watching on YouTube, you can do it up to 3 times a week. Give us the love we probably don't deserve, but demand. And just do it.
He's very demanding.
Yeah, I am demanding today. I've just done basic life support training now. And I've got some frustrations I need to get out. Anyways, how are we all?
Oh, you're asking this week?
I am this week.
I'm all right. How are you?
Because considering for about half an hour before this pod, I've just been sat here twiddling my pen while you two put the world to rights.
Yeah, me and Josh have been putting the world to rights.
We was just dealing with an episode of Hollyoaks.
That's all it was. It sounded like it.
I don't have to rewatch it anyway because Josh has just filled me in with everything.
We agreed that we was going to go back and watch something from the beginning. So originally we thought 6 o'clock news.
Yeah.
But there's so many, we didn't think we'd get through it. So we've gone back to Hollyoaks. It's only been around 30 years. So
yeah,
we're currently in season of 2004.
Nice.
It's amazing.
Good season, that one.
Yeah, they have flip phones.
Later on, we're going to talk about I'm a Celebrity South Africa.
Yeah. Because somebody is a David Hay fan.
Somebody is an Adam Thomas fan.
We jest, don't come for us in the comments.
We digress.
If anyone has watched it, I understand
they'll
there's some
probably
drama.
reply back and go, why didn't you talk about I'm a Celebrity?
Yeah, there is that. Anything but the rugby.
How's Josh?
Yeah, not bad, cheers.
Anything I want to talk about the rugby this week.
I'm quite chilled. I've had a good chilled one, a bit of a boozy weekend. The wife's gone away, as we were just discussing. So I found myself in the pub and a couple of rounds of golf, pretty chilled. And I'm here now, so yeah, not bad. Can't complain.
Yeah, all good. All right. Good. Let's crack on then, shall we?
Why not?
Shall we? I actually thought it was you to go first, but it's not us.
Yeah, we're first, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Your turn.
It's not really a lot to say, really, is it? As we
Okay, my section.
sort of. Okay, go on then. Nah, as we mentioned before, like there's not really a lot to say. It was a case of job done for us. We went out there, we did what we have to do. A couple of little disappointing areas, I thought, especially sort of second half of the first half, where we seemed to take our foot off the gas a little bit and probably didn't give Bradford the credit that they actually deserved, just because we'd raced into a lead. That's how it felt to me. But it was a classic example of a top side versus a side that have just come up and is now patched together. The gulf between the two sides was evident.
We're starting to see that a little bit more with them 3 sides that have come up, though, aren't we?
We have now we're into because.
No disrespect to them guys,
No,
but they're starting to
not.
find the feet and the level, maybe.
I think I was saying it last week, but I can't recall the two teams. One was definitely Toulouse. Bradford might have been the other one that had lost 5 on the bounce. And until they're playing each other, these teams, that they're struggling a bit. And we always thought it would happen. Smaller squad sizes, trying to get up to the pace. I read some good comments online that basically put it down to just that superior match fitness, but also being used to the speed. And when you introduce a club to Super League, they are shocked by the speed usually anyways. But then when you introduce a new rule, like we've got the new 6 again and the new speed of the ruck rules, we're starting to see teams get a bit dominated. And look, in some ways it's quite nice that these 3 teams that have come up, because they can all sort of do it at the same time. And if they do end up all fighting out that 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th place with maybe Huddersfield or another team might drop off, it'll be quite good because there isn't just one team languishing at the bottom. But I must admit that from my point of view, I actually found the previous week just gone a bit of a bore in terms of rugby league. I found it a bit frustrating in terms of the way they set the games out. Having no Sunday game, putting multiple games together on Thursday and Friday didn't help. And then there was a number of games that didn't really pass the eye test for me that made me excited. And that's unfair, maybe I was feeling that way out, but I was like, am I bothered about watching Lee and Huddersfield? Not really. No. Am I bothered about watching York and Toulouse? Oh, hopefully it's going to be an alright game.
A blowout.
But then it might, end up being Castleford FC obviously delivered in some ways, but we didn't expect it to. Leeds and Catalan, I thought Catalan don't travel well. Then you had, Wire Wigan, so many injuries. You're not really expecting much from Wigan. Then you looked at us and our result, arrogantly to say, was a foregone conclusion. And then the only one I was really excited by was Saints and Wakey. Now, maybe that's a bit on me for not feeling hype about it, but when we finally got to our game on Saturday afternoon, it felt like what we was talking about last week. Oh yeah, there's another try. Oh yeah, there's another try. And apart from that 20-minute spell in the second part of the first half, as you just mentioned, Craig, where we sort of took our foot off the gas and they dug in, and all credit to Bradford for the tenacity that he showed throughout the game, it was business as we expected.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I say, I do feel like that game was won in the first 20 minutes. Yes, Bradford came back into it a little bit, got a couple of tries, probably got the hopes up. But then we scored that first try really early on in the second half, and you could just see the Bradford players behind the sticks. They just looked so deflated that they conceded that first try.
It was standard Rovers that we've come to expect over these last few years, where you take any sort of a sniff away from the opposition team, you go a couple of tries ahead, and then you can just see the energy levels just deflate out of that opposition team. And it was the same with Bradford. They did well though. I'll give them a bit of credit to try and get themselves back into it that second part of the first half, but that first try in the second half was just game done and done. I think the game was done, but as anything as a competitive sort of game that was going to happen in the second half, it was completely done.
I think that's probably a good point to mention the pitch size. So we had a question came in from Anonymous. No, it was from my dad who said that he doesn't have the right social media or technology to send it in the formal way, so he'll just text it to me and Susan, and hopefully it'll make the pod. But he raised the point which was around the pitch size, and I'd seen actually a bit online about this, so it isn't just coming from one source, but Odsall's pitch, at Bradford is 88 by 56 metres, whereas like in comparison Craven Park is 100 by 68 metres. So Odsall is a notably narrow pitch. And the question he was sort of painting was, do Bradford take an advantage from this? Now, simple answer is yes, I believe they do in certain games. What I actually found almost opposite effect of that this weekend was we ended up deciding not to try and go out wide then. And especially in the opening exchanges, we just scored through the middle repeatedly. And when you're getting people on the team sheet, like Mikey Lewis getting 4 tries, and they're all coming either side of the post or around the post because he's backing up or he's darting through gaps or he's running over people like he did, that's coming off good forward play to get you up there. When you've got people like, Minchella and that going over for tries, that's because your forwards are battling through. We get it was mainly an academy side and there was weak. But I think sometimes you will see some teams against a full strength Bradford maybe struggle if their game plan is to go wide. But we showed a bit of good game plan and good game management and also a bit of class across the field to go, well, we don't need to do that. And there's no wonder that, we didn't have that many tries out wide. I know Martin got one at centre, but Booth knocked one at the end that he could have got, but we did score a lot up the middle as well, so I do think there is an advantage for certain teams, maybe when Bradford are at full strength. I don't think that played a part this week other than changing our game plan.
You say that about, I'll go off topic a little bit from the game, but we've had all these things that every team's had to abide to with the IMG scoring and rating. Why is pitch size not one of them? I know Cass are a bit handicapped because they haven't got any space really to widen the pitch. Bradford have.
Yeah.
Bradford have got all the space in the and I know they have the racing around the edge.
Speedway track.
Yeah, but they use it for something else now, don't they? They do use it.
They were guinea pig racing.
Something like that, yeah. There's now to stop them expanding that and...
Look, I don't know.
Fake grass or whatever, I don't know, but...
Full disclosure, I didn't ask Jeeves this one, but my presumption is they are within the legal limit. There will be an upper and lower limit of what your pitch sizes can be.
I know there is in like.
Yeah, but such football. A difference between yours and theirs. That's a massive. Is that 12 metres on width?
Yeah.
And 10 on
no,
length.
It'll be 12 metres by length. It'll go length.
12
It'll go length
width.
by width. Yeah.
That's. I don't think that should be.
12 both ways, 12 length and 12 width, yeah. But yeah, anyways, we answered the question. I think it will make a difference for some, but it didn't matter to us on the day because we sort of dominated through the middle.
I said it in the group, someone put, do Bradford get an advantage from this? And I put, no, not today, especially, because we like to suffocate teams. And that played right into our defensive game plan.
You beat teams down the middle.
Mikey's come out this week and said, we're a defence-first team now. Whereas we used to be an attacking first team, we're a defence first team, and that played right into our hands. And the shorter pitch length also played into our hands in terms of fitness. Obviously, we are one of the fittest teams in the league, but again, with the fitness, if you're getting rolled downfield, you're still not going back 100 metres.
No.
You're only going back a maximum of 70 because obviously you start on the 10 and stuff anyway. So for me, it played into our hands, but I do agree some teams may feel at a bit of a disadvantage with that.
Yeah, I agree. And for me, a couple of people just to mention, I liked Reece Martin at centre, he looks placed there. It's a good replacement when Gilly's out. I like No Booth jumping in when Budgie's injured. We've got this guy for a reason. Shame he couldn't take his try at the end. I think he had a couple of errors on the day as well, but it's nice to blood him in. He's had some great games for us, but it's nice for him to get time. But I enjoyed Hickle getting another intercept. He seems to be wanting one a game at the minute. You know, we can't beat that. But one person was actually on the opposition, so over some beverages in the public house on Friday evening, I did mention about I'd seen Greg Eden had signed, but I'd seen that he wouldn't play because he wasn't in the squad, and I was mistaken, and he did, and he actually came back to score a try against us. Greg Eden's one of them names for me that appears like he played.
I didn't know he signed until I seen the team sheet. I'm like,
it was a last minute thing, I think, wasn't it? It was only.
Where's he come from? I didn't realise he was still playing.
So I think did they announce their team on the Thursday, but they only announced 20 players. The leftist deliberate space was informed by the RFL that could leave a deliberate space for the signing of him, which went through on Friday. So that way they didn't lose an interchange because they didn't name 21. They just replaced an empty space with him.
I do remember seeing the squad and him not being in it, and that's probably in my head why I thought, you know, he's not in. But wouldn't be right to not mention Mikey. You've got to.
You was going for it then.
I was going to say it then. It wouldn't be right to not mention him. You know, he was everywhere on the day. Yeah, I understand the caveat. It's Bradford and they're a bit weak in the playing, but any time an halfback's running over you like that, he's scoring 4 tries, he's setting up assists. You can't grumble.
That collision with Chris Atkin was like 2 forwards going at it. So credit to both Lewis and Atkin for taking that.
The timing for me was just impeccable, not so much on the challenge, but in terms of when we announced a New England coach and he's come out to make comments about pretty much saying Jake Connor's always in that conversation, to then have Mikey turn around and go, well, really, anyone worth the salt's probably not going to play both. They play the same position. They probably wouldn't work well together. Touch wood, we don't know that, but we'll see if it happens. But for him to turn around and go, okay, you want to talk about Jake Connor? Watch my performance. Very, very good. So
I don't think you're right there. I think they can play together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. And I hope we do see him.
I worry that I don't believe Jake Connor has ever fully grown up, and we know Mikey can still be petulant at times. And my worry is if you put them both in and they had a bit of a nightmare and they both spat the dummies out, you're absolutely rudderless in the middle. Okay. And then I don't even think Jez Litton on his best day can control both of them. I know he can control Mikey. I don't know if he controls Jake Connor and Mikey when on and off day.
Fair point, yeah. Sorry,
but,
back on track.
No, for me, I'll pass to Craig to finish, got out to add, but I'm just... Yeah, so let me finish on my point with it, which is that I'm happy that we continue to kick on. Bit of a repeat message from the last few weeks. We're getting the wins, we're doing what's expected of us. There's still stuff to work on in terms of wanting to nil people and do better, but we're comfortably in the top 6. I really think this is great building for the Challenge Cup, semi-final in a couple of weeks. Get them points on the board, get those wins coming and get into that routine.
A couple of weeks, is it? It's next week.
Is it next Sunday from now? Yeah.
Sunday,
yeah. And keep going. So I'm very, very pleased, and I can't complain at what I'm seeing. I just hope we don't lose any form.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's what it comes down to. It's we always talk about building into the season, and nothing's won in February, as the old sayings go. Just quickly on Michael Lewis, I want a one-word answer. Lewis, best in Super League right now, yes or no?
No. Brodie Croft.
I think Brodie Croft is probably edging him.
No, that's fine. I've just seen it online earlier.
I can't stand Brodie Croft.
No, I can't either.
No,
I don't like how he looks like he's going to explode like a tomato in a microwave when he scores. Have you ever noticed that? And I don't know why it winds. Also, I think he's very Caesar-like in that he's constantly joining at the referee.
Yeah.
To the point where I'm not saying a lot of players don't do it. I'm not saying Rovers players don't do it. But you watch an Hull game on TV, you notice Caesar having it to the ref. Croft's like that for me. He never stops, and that's part of rugby. In rugby union, it's actually applauded when they have great rapport with the referees and they constantly question decisions. But in rugby league, there are certain players that it comes across a little bit frustrating for me, and Croft's one of them where, and maybe it's just my bias of not liking him doing that, but he winds me off the clock when he seems to constantly be niggling.
Croft's face when he scores is like Beth's when he sees Marcus Griffith's ankles.
Can we stop talking about his ankles, please?
Sorry, Dean's ankles.
I wasn't going to say turned on, but okay.
Yeah, so I actually saw a little stat from Mike Carter. I don't know how long we've got.
A couple of minutes we've got.
Couple of minutes, cheers, mate.
Good shout, Susan. 2 minutes we've got.
Mike Carter, Hull KR shirts. Go give him a follow if you like old shirts and.
I do thought he's good. I like him.
Stuff, and he really knows his stuff. 24 out of 25 Rovers players who have played this season have scored. The only one who hasn't is Jordan Desiree, who's probably played about 40 minutes in his 2 games. This is in all competitions. And like I say, the only one who hasn't is...
You have played a lot lane, though, in the Cup, let's be
Well,
honest.
but you've
got to
play
score
what's in
him,
front of
yeah,
you.
you've got to
Who did you play first round?
Salford.
And how did that go?
We
Got
won.
a big win, didn't you?
We won.
To be fair, I think most top-end Super League teams would have done to Loch Lane what we did.
Yeah.
What we did wasn't anything special, and I'm not saying it was.
I'm just jesting, mate. You can carry on with your point, sorry.
That's about it, really. Just a quick roundup from our teams, because we missed it from last week, so I had to rush on. The under-15s girls continued their unbeaten run, beating Culcheth Eagles 24-6 at their place. The PDRL put up a valiant fight against the reigning champions Wakefield, going down 30-18, which I think, from where we've come from as our PDRL team, to be challenging the reigning champions, who were a very good side by all accounts. It is very good. The women's, they beat Bradford Bulls 12 points to 4. The academy clinched a dramatic draw with St Helens. 20-all, that one finished. By all accounts, it was an absolute cracking game. I didn't manage to get down to any of it. The reserves, not bad considering we don't have an academy or a reserves. They beat Lee 54-32. And the last one was the wheelchair team. They took part in the Wheelchair Challenge Trophy. Beat Salford 26-6, Anglian Vipers 14-0, lost 24-0 to Widnes, beat Colostomy UK 38-0, and then lost in the semi-finals to Warrington 10 points to 6.
Yeah, good work.
So again, a valiant effort from all of our teams. Even the ones that went down have sort of worn the shirt with pride and done us proud as a club. So.
Bragging Rights is proudly sponsored by Comscaf. Hull's own Comscaf have been keeping things safe and steady for over 30 years, providing professional scaffolding services nationwide. If you need a team you can trust for your next project, big or small, head to comscaf.co.uk or give them a call on 01482 782 181.
That was a really long pause, wasn't it?
Well, when I looked up, did you notice I stopped saying what I was saying? Because I saw him like that, and I thought he was going to go like that straight away. And then he's like this. I thought he was testing for the wind, like the wind cricket.
Well, on to us then.
You're going to explain that to us, young man.
Explain.
Explain, yeah.
Explain.
Well, it's just that you never ever back your own team in the predictions league. You just don't have any faith.
I am not for the rest of the season either. I think James put it on the group chat, didn't he? To lose by 4 this week before our game had even finished. So, no, right, before we get into the game, it would be remiss of me not to mention the interview from Richie Marler last week. I don't want to get into it. Enough has been said on every platform possible, rugby league-wise, of the last week. But I just wanted to say, from my point of view, he answered the questions we wanted answering. I know some will and have already twisted his answers to suit their narratives, but personally I thought it came across well, and hopefully now that is a line in the sand for that.
I know you don't want to go on about it.
Yep.
I did say last week, I'll repeat my point now. It's all well and good, you've got both sides of the story.
Yep.
It doesn't actually matter, because in 18 months' time, where your club's at, even the fans right now that are fully on John Cartwright's side saying it's disgusting, it's wrong, I want Marler out, will still be fans of LFC and they'll still be going to games if they go.
Yeah.
And it won't matter. Even if you have another torrid season or you bottom, even if you got relegated to the Championship, no one will be turning around and going, oh yeah, well, we was right about Marler, he's bad. Yes, they'll slag him off, but this will be forgotten because that's just life.
Yep.
Right in the heat of the moment, it was really bad and we didn't know what was going on. But now, it's a done deal. And unfortunately, that's the way it happens. And I wouldn't be surprised if we do hear shortly that even though Cartwright is technically still around, that he's not part of the club properly.
I think he will stay on until the end of the year because of the reason Marler gave, that they're keeping him on board. I think it is the reason they're keeping him on board so he can keep his visa. He has got a grandchild due in the next few months.
That's the main reason.
And that's a really good...
I said to Jimmy the other day, fair credit to the club for that, because they could have just gone,
see you later.
No, see you later, you're done.
Paying for Jed's rehab. Jed's got a child on the way.
Yeah.
He won't stick around. I just don't think you'll see much of him. Fair play to him if he does stick around a bit more and does
No,
a
I
bit
don't
more.
think we'll see it.
But I don't think you'll see him.
He's on the books for the club, and that's the sole reason.
Credit to Hull for that, because I think that's quite a nice gesture.
But
after throwing him under the bus, but
onto the game though, that was well, I'm not. First of all, I'm not going to get carried away, but it was a very enjoyable evening down lane at the Jungle.
Maybe for you, I turned it off after about 20 minutes.
No,
Football on.
I can understand why people do that. I've done it to a couple of your games this season. I'm not going to lie.
You did it on Saturday.
Yeah, he did.
It was nice to finally put that line in the sand after a turbulent few weeks, and it was. But the main thing for me, it was good to be having fun at a game of rugby. Now, yes, we've had this big turnaround over the last 18 months, but I wouldn't say going to an Hull FC game has been really fun. We've had tight-knit games. We've never been able to sort of let your hair down and enjoy the game. Yeah, most of the games we've won, bar Salford last season, have been real close, nervy, affairs. But this one won pretty early on. You could tell really the game was done and dusted after the 20th minute. You couldn't really see Cass coming back. Let's not get out. That was poor. That was absolutely awful. But we was on it on Friday, more than we have been for most of the season. And you could tell that in the away end. There was a real good feel-good atmosphere in the away end. People who were drinking, the beers were flowing, the atmosphere was just a really enjoyable place to be.
I'm not surprised that you had that feeling in there, because I've noted here that you couldn't have asked for a better answer to the last few weeks. As fans, absolutely not. And the team performance across the board from Hull pretty much all stood up and said, yeah, let's play, and played well. Yeah. Again, caveat is Cass, but they beat Wigan the week before, and there's always a caveat to a caveat. They were missing players, but you beat Cass and you beat them really well.
You only play what's in front of you on the day.
Exactly.
I felt in that, especially the opening maybe 25 to 30 minutes, even as a neutral observer, probably not fully down the middle being red and white, but as neutral as I can be when I watch these games, I'm watching it and I'm thinking, Hull look up for this. And I felt like you was getting the rub of the green. Now, it didn't change the outcome of the game. It didn't change the points you scored. It didn't change how good Hull were. So everybody that's going to call me out for this ticket. But on the day, when you feel as though it's going your way and it's going right, even as an observer on TV, I was thinking, nothing's going Cass's way today, and Hull are taking the chances they can. And I can imagine if I was a fan in the stands watching that, I'd be going the same, going, so I like this and we're going to do something good. Because it just felt that way.
We started well. We've just, what was it? We completed 36 out of 39. We never do, we don't do that. That's not Hull FC. 3 errors. Missed tackles 12. That's not Hull FC stats. I know you don't pay too much attention to the stats. Stats don't tell everything. But they are stats that Hull FC produce. We don't do that. Our missed tackles are normally high. Our errors are quite high. Our penalty count is very high. But you could just tell things had changed a little bit. But as you said, we was getting the rub of the green, and that shows to me with Briscoe's offload early on near our own line. I thought it was a knock-on personally. Ref says it's gone backwards. Two tackles later, we get the penalty. We then kick the penalty to touch. We go on and score down that set. Things were just starting to go away. But people say a bit of luck. I say you make your own luck, and I feel like we did that on Friday.
I felt like in the opening exchanges, for me, trying to watch it, I felt like I saw what could be reportable, a good 12, 13 head-high incidents where there were arms up there or catching faces, catching shoulders. I think there was, probably in my opinion, there was maybe 5 or 6 done by Cass, 6 or 7 done by Hull. It was very even. And yeah, I only saw like 2 picked up. And some days when you've got that physical battle that's going on, when one team is getting into it, and then you get, obviously the Lawler sin bin in, which made a bit of a difference as well. But when you got that feeling, you go, actually, we can just carry on doing what we're doing here. Yeah. If we're not getting penalised and we're getting the right side of aggression and we're getting some big hits and we're not having to go for legs because we're hitting up high and the ref's not calling us out if an arm slips up or whatever, let's keep doing it. And so
I don't think there was anything malicious in it.
I don't mean that. What I'm saying is your aggression turned into good defensive play that you built the back of. Yeah. And I actually think that my whole point was, I could imagine stood as an Hull fan, should have dread, never want to imagine that, but stood there, I would feel the same as you, this hubbub and this atmosphere of, we're on it here. Yeah. We are the better team by far and we're on it, because it looked like that on TV.
And it is always, Cass, in the sun, Friday night, it's a good place to be when rugby is going your way, when your team's going well. On saying that as well, before I forget this, our biggest win in Castleford for 32 years. So that's not a bad one to have. On to a couple of things that Andy last mentioned last week in his pre-match interview. He mentioned there'll be little tweaks, no wholesale changes, which they want, little tweaks. And one of them, I don't know if you guys picked up on it, was Caesar and Arthur's switch. Arthur was given the lead role as the more number 7 and Caesar to play the number 6 role. A role that he was playing a few weeks back when Caesar was injured and we got them wins against Catalan and Leeds. A role that I think he took on really well on Friday, and for me would have been our man of the match if he'd have stayed on. I know he was taken off because he was cramping up a little bit and they didn't want to push him too much after a while out, which is fair enough. We've questioned him. You have, I have. Most Hull fans have. He's slowly starting to find his feet now, and Friday will have done him the world of good. And I'm hoping now he's got that role as a leader, which he wants to be, which he clearly is, he will start to kick on. Maybe we will see the player that we was promised.
I think it's hard because I love to throw the caveats in, we know that, which is pointless going on, but we know you played Cass, we know there was Paul, but at the same time, he showed up. He did it against Cass. Can he do it next week? Toulouse this week, okay, so McKinnon and Toulouse, right. What happens then in 6 weeks' time when you play Wigan and Wigan have got full strength back?
Yeah.
That's the big question, but as a Hull fan, you've got to be happy that he's building and he looked good.
Yeah, he's building.
I feel like I should say this because I love to slag him off. For me, that was Caesar's best performance of the season. I must admit, I don't really recall his performance against Leeds. I just remember your good win against Leeds, I will say. But that I've slagged him all year saying that he's lost his kick in, he's lost his role, he didn't know what he was doing. That little tweak seems to have sparked some life back into him. Maybe just having a recognised half-back next to him.
Just to talk about, he answered his critics, me being one of them on Friday. Will he turn up? Was he just for John Cartwright?
Yeah.
No, he put a performance in, he put a shift in on Friday. So fair play to him to shut the idiots like me up, which I'm sure will mean a great deal to him. But no, he did really well. And we seem to be playing, we're a very structured team. Our players are always half-back, Asiata, half-back, out the back to the... It was a bit more freedom, I feel, from the lads. And that showed in Martin's try, where the ball was passed out. You got Moy having a look around, Caesar just gets the ball, kicks it to the corner. A little bit more eyes-up rugby, and I love watching eyes-up rugby. Something like you just play what's in front of you.
It's entertaining, isn't
yeah,
it?
it's more entertaining, and it was entertaining on Friday at times. So.
I think that for me watching that, man on the match from your side was Bell. I felt like he really put himself into that position for the first time to really dominate. Would be quite promising for an FC fan, I imagine, to see him perform to that level. And if that's going to be that way you're pivoting between Arthur, Caesar and Bell, if you can keep that up, then I think you can trouble a few teams. So I think he deserved a lot of credit.
The question always will be for us, can we keep them guys on the field for the majority of the season? But it was a really, I keep saying it was a fun... I come home on Friday night and the wife was up waiting and she goes, it was fun. It was like, and I don't come back from an LFC game and say it was fun. Not recently anyway.
It did leave me with one question though. I was going to talk about Martin for a bit because I'm still not impressed with Martin's.
Well, I thought he bounced back well after a disappointing game against St.
I think there's a lot. I said last week there's a lot of pressure on him, given where he was last year, and a lot of people crying he should have been Young Player of the Year. So far this year, he's proved everyone that said the Super League were wrong to not give him the award.
I would say he's a little bit rocks and diamonds this year. He's had a couple of good games.
A lot of pressure.
He showed a bit of maturity in bouncing back after that performance last week.
But my question on it was, because that was I mentioned that because we're going to go over time because we don't care. Okay,
that's all right then, as long as...
Because he wants to stay and have a beer afterwards, he said that. So now we can't pull faces when we go over time. What do you do now? Right.
Go on.
Well, I've called you inconsistent. I still agree.
Yeah.
Right? What happens now? Because how does you, as an FC fan, where's your head at going into a depleted, Toulouse side, playing a depleted Toulouse side this week at home? You expect to win against someone like that. They've lost the superstar Dupree this week, and you're thinking we'll win this. But the whole side that we've seen for last year and a good part of this year, you could get anything on Sunday.
We could. But you asked when it is Toulouse on Sunday.
It's yours to lose.
You said last week, where do we go? It's Cass. It's just next
week
game.
On week.
I don't care about... Yeah, they've got a week off after that. I think it's Bradford after that. I aren't looking that far ahead. First time I looked at the table was this week, and so we're only 2 points off the playoff. I aren't really paying attention too much to all that. it's Toulouse Olympique on Sunday. That's it. We can't afford to get too far ahead of ourselves. We've been inconsistent. We need to focus just week on week at the minute. Start to get things right, and we did that. We got off to a really good start with that.
They got off on the right foot, haven't you?
Yeah. Right, before we jump off, reserves ran out 58-22 winners at Bradford. Callum Kemp backed up his cameo appearance on Friday night, scoring a hat-trick on Sunday against them. The under-18s ran out 50 points to 4 winners against Huddersfield last week, so another great result for them. Wheelchair team, away win 32-30, Edinburgh Giants. That's their first win of the season. And
it's a long old poke.
It is a long old poke.
For a game of rugby.
And we need to mention this guy. We were shocked, and I'll take this off Hull FC's post last week. Shocked, saddened to learn the sudden passing of former wheelchair rugby league player Martin Chadburn. Martin played for the Black and Whites between 2020 and 2022. So we just want to, I know a few of us know members of the family, but we just want to send our thoughts and best wishes out to them and through this what must be a difficult time for them. So yeah.
I thought it was an actual advert, sorry. It says travel advert, so I'm thinking there'll be an advert.
Yeah, you're doing it.
As always, we've said, and we'll say again at the end, but we are at Travel. But the beauty of Travel is, probably is the best sports bar in Hull. I'll say that. Come here a lot, like it, and it sponsors us, so damn it, I'll say it again. You can come in here for great drinks, for great food, and for a great time. There's always events on, there's quizzes throughout the week. There's DJs and events that go on over the weekend, especially on the weekend nights. There's always some on bank holiday. There's always some outside for the kids on bank holidays, bouncy castles and events, and we've got another one coming up. So make sure you come down. But if you just come in to watch the rugby because you're not going to the games, or you want to watch one of the other games in Super League, this is the place to be. Come down for food and drink. Make sure you bring your Rovers or your FC pass. Show it when you're ordering food and a drink, and you can get 15% off your bill. And yeah, if you come down this week, they'll be showing every game on Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, so come down. If you do come down, and something that's not on TV, any sport that you want to watch, just ask them, they'll probably put it on. So yeah, big shout out to Travel.
Yeah.
Proof in the pudding, they've done it before.
Yeah, absolutely.
News from around the world.
Don't even do it.
Right, let's throw some news from around the Rugby League world out. Okay, first one, straight up, George Lawler, 2-match ban for his high shot on Liggy Sow. He had 0 points going into disciplinary, but he's come out with 15 points. The big point of this is Liggy Sow failed his HIA. This is what should happen in rugby. I felt what Lawler did was wrong. I didn't mind the player who did it against because I found Sow a dirty player. I've discussed this before. But the point being is, if you were to play Ryan and he fails a HIA, you should also be punished. Sow will not be able to play against Toulouse this week, so therefore it's only fair.
Well, apart from 10 minutes, like, we're going to benefit massively from Lawler missing this week.
I thought it was a red, personally.
I thought
we didn't get into that in our game review.
I genuinely thought it was a straight red.
Yes, Sow had dropped 6 inches in height, but Lawler had an open target and time to adjust. He took a step and a movement towards him with that shoulder like that, to an open target in the head. I just thought it was.
This inconsistency, I thought Ollie Ashot Bolt for Toulouse. I can't believe he didn't get binned. There was no mitigation there for me.
Yeah, that was.
He only got a grade B as well in the.
And he didn't get enough points. But yeah, so anyways, George Law will be missing for the game against Rovers, and Sal will miss the game from head high. Staying on Castleford for a minute, they've immediately signed Tyler Dupree. So he comes in immediately, makes the switch that was long rumoured. Wigan have agreed to release him. But they've also made a bigger signing. 3-year deal to end of 2029. Do we know who?
Your old player.
PLT.
That's the one, yeah.
Phoenix.
Lalu. Tonga guy. But yeah, so they pick up 2 new players that should come straight in Dupree and PLT, which I think are both really good signings for a Cast team that's probably one of the most inconsistent in the league, and there is a few this year. So they'll pick them up and you'll probably see them Thursday night. If not, you'll definitely see them the week after.
I think PLT's coming straight into the fullback role.
Looks that way.
By what I've heard from, is it Jensen, the chairman, Cast chairman? He was on a podcast the other day. So
going to go a little bit downbeat now and talk about some injuries. So the first one over at Wire, most people should know by now, but George Williams is set for surgery on his neck, and Sam Burgess has been quite open maybe a little bit coy, but he's actually been quite open and said there is a chance that George Williams has played his last game for the club. You know, we know that he leaves and goes on next year to play for the Dolphins in the NRL. There is a chance he comes back, but I don't think we'll be seeing him anytime soon, and that is a bit of a blow.
He's not going to risk his NRL contract to play for Warrington.
I don't believe so.
I don't think.
But you don't risk a neck injury.
No.
Well, no offence to Warrington, but I just can't see it.
No, I can't either.
In fact, no, every offence to Warrington. I can't stand him.
On another note, that does open up, that could possibly open up a spot for a World Cup position.
Well, from Wyre's point of view, it opens up opportunity, I think, for that young Erwin. I know he's been playing in place of Sneed. I know you are, but he's been playing Sneed. It gives chance for him to get more game time and show that he's ready to be established at a Super League level for a longer time. From an England point of view, coming at the back end of the year, it probably takes William out of contention, you know, barring some major turnaround, which could happen. So we could see what happens being, you know, Mikey at 6 or even, you know, Jake Connor, but we'll see when we go forward. Yeah. Sticking on injured players, though, we've had another bad week, unfortunately. There's been a lot going around, so I'm going to run through some names just so people know. Robbie Mulhern over at Leigh, calf injury, unsure on the severity. Josh Griffin went off holding his arm. Looked like a dislocated shoulder to my eye. Turns out, good job they don't use my eyes for medical advice, because it actually sounds like it's a bicep injury. Oh. Now, again, that's not confirmed, but that is what people are reporting. Bad one for Wyre, Kai Taylor Ray has done his ankle. Looks like he won't feature this week, so that is a bit of a loss as well for them.
Just back, wasn't he? Was his first game back?
Not long since.
Then you've got Liam Marshall done his hamstring over at Wigan, and then across the board, there was 5 HIAs where people will not be able to play this week. We've mentioned Liggy Sow, Ben Garcia over at Catalan, Desiree for us at Rovers, HIA failed. So there was a few, not nice to see. And then Wakey actually reported a trio of injuries that are going to struggle for this week, all across the back line. Nikitomo, Johnston and Vangana. So that's bad news for Wakey as well. So really, a shit week for injuries across the board for some big names. And people might not think that, but we know, I genuinely think some of them. Mulhern, I think, has been in the form of his life the last couple of years for Leigh. He's been one of the best forwards in the league. Josh Griffin, I think, is a talisman for York. I've seen some phenomenal games that he's been playing recently. I think Liam Marshall, we all know what he can do for Wigan. So, Kai
he
Taylor
never
Ray,
seems to get injured, does he?
So, some big names, and it's just more bad news for these teams. So we'll see how we get on. Hopefully, gives chance for academy players or some players on the peripheries to jump in. Finally, though, let's make a bit of better news rather than, well, maybe not good news if you're a South Sydney fan, but the PNG Chiefs have made their first signing under Willie Peters for the NRL. In 2027. The NRL all-time record try scorer Alex Johnston will be joining them. This is a man who's represented Australia and Papua New Guinea at an international level, and we all saw him when he got the all-time try scoring record a few weeks back when there was a pitch invasion. Absolutely fantastic scenes. This is a man who has scored 219 tries in 230 games.
And counting.
As of this afternoon. So that strike rate's phenomenal.
Isn't it just?
And when Jez Litton's giving him them balls, in a complete anyways, that's the run. But yeah.
Is it one about the West half back out there as well?
Luai,
yeah.
So we've heard, a lot of rumours, but that is the first official one, the first one that we believe Mr. Peters has had a finger involved in, maybe a bit of a conversation here and there. But that's it from news from around the world, and shout out to James, just because we'll mention his recovery in the comment section, but he did send that one across last minute today saying don't forget this one.
He's contributed,
so I had to mention it.
The most he contributed to the pod in 2.5 years.
He comes in, plugs a few things in, sets up, tells Susan to do everything that he can't be bothered to do, and then
shouts at Susan
and then wow, changed man. He's done him well.
When I texted him the other day when I said you did really well on Humberside, why can't you be that professional on the podcast?
He was, wasn't he?
He was so good on Humberside, but he just don't want to do it for us.
I was sat there. I was listening to it live. I was there.
But yeah, that was news, so thanking you.
There is a bit of breaking news.
I've got them breaking news.
Bill Leyland has gone back to St Helens on a 1-week loan deal.
Oh, well, Hull have kept, what's he called for another week? Newman.
Both of them.
Who else did you have?
Jeremiah Matautia.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him.
Yeah. So Leyland's gone back there, so good news for St Helens.
Just a team full of rejects, are you? Can't even play for their own club. We loan players out, we don't pull them in.
Anymore.
Oh, sorry.
Bill Leyland, Saints legend.
He'll have a plaque there somewhere, won't he?
BLSL.
He's so desperate to press that button and we just won't stop.
comments section then. Should we start with a fun one first? I like this one anyway. Mike Abel.
Oh, don't start with him. Love you, Mike.
Is he the one who called him out for walking out at York game 20 minutes early?
Yeah.
20 minutes early.
Yeah, it wasn't 20. What a lie, it was 25.
Oh, sorry.
Mason was cold, all right.
Mason wasn't there, he was back in Hull. Sorry, yes.
That's because he left after 10 minutes.
And we did push the you don't have to ask about a rugby league question, didn't we? We've had a couple. We've definitely had one of them anyway, which we can't ask.
We are waiting for clarification on that, but Jimmy didn't get back to us. So.
Did he not? Okay.
No.
Which commentator from another sport would you like to see commentate on a game?
So, right, then I'll start because I've got Jimmy's as well. Have you got Jimmy's?
No.
No.
You can't speak outside of this.
I was there on Thursday, obviously. I popped round to see him. And we got round to talking about this question. And he went, oh, I've got an answer straight away. He went, well, I've got two. And I went, I know exactly who you're thinking of without you even telling me. I went, one of them's Murray Walker. Go, go, go. Can you imagine someone getting an interception and just running down the line? It's like,
Yeah,
go. And the second one, because we both agree on this, was good old JR from WWE. And yes, it is a sport, don't come at me. He just would be phenomenal as a rugby league commentator, I think. And if anybody can AI his voice over some rugby commentary, I just think that would be absolutely superb. And the other one I've got was Sid Waddell from darts before he passed.
3 good shouts.
Rest his soul. So
on the back of that then, so when Mike sent the question in for me, and I have played golf with him and spoke to him in person, the first one he'd come up with, he'd said that he would like Mardell from the darts, Wayne Mardell. Is it
Wayne Mardell?
Wayne Mardell, yeah, you're right.
I was misreading that. Or Stuart Barnes from the Rugby Union, just because he wanted to see it get stuck in his teeth every time he talked about rugby league or what's going on. So, So I actually spoke to Mike a bit about this, and I thought I'll do a bit of prep for this. And I was like, as I was looking at it, I think I sent Jimmy, or Jimmy sent me a funny video where they've swapped UFC commentary with golf commentary. So it's like a real good knockout, and it's a real, and that's a great finish. And then it goes to the golf and he knocks in a putt to win the competition, and it's got like Joe Rogan. He's like, oh my god! Like, so I got on that path, but I decided I started thinking that I watch a lot of golf. I think of golf commentators, and so I decided I'm going with one answer only. And he is a rugby league fan, and we do see him on Super League quite often. I'm going for the man, the myth, the legend, Cammy, Chris Kamara. Yeah. I would love to see him do a full rugby game.
Jeff, has he?
Yeah. Him and Stuart Pearce.
Michael Lewis has gone over in the corner again. I don't know, has he?
Well, I've seen him go over there. I just thought he'd pulled his hamstring.
Yeah, I'm going Cammy.
Fair enough. Well,
Cammy's a good one.
You lot have probably never heard, and you guys probably never heard of the one that I've picked. Been a New York Rangers fan. Watched the Rangers quite regularly for the last God knows how many years. Commentator Sam Rosen. He was the New York Rangers announcer on the MSG network for 40 years. He retired last year. And he was by far the best commentator I've come across in my time listening and watching sport. And I would love to hear his enthusiasm commentating on a rugby league game. So yeah, that's my pick.
Nice. Let us know yours in the comments if people have got any better ones or ones they think could be good and we're interested. I thought it was a real good question, that.
Yeah,
my
brilliant.
God, somebody stop the damn match.
Before we get into a couple more, quite a few of you sent messages in saying to Jimmy to get well soon, so thank you for that. I'm sure it meant a lot to him because he's the one who reads the comments more than any of us, I think.
That's because he's sat at home doing notes.
Yeah.
No, it's because me and him both have control on YouTube, but for some reason I can't like comments as bragging rights. Oh, I need to speak to Jimmy about that. And also Jimmy's just better with technology than me, so he is the man doing them. So he will have read them, because if you've got a like or a comment back, it's always from Jimmy.
Yeah. Fair enough. Matthew Sunman, he messaged regarding the academy conversation we had last year. He said academy players don't regress, but their roles do. It must be awful being called up to the first team for cover and then returning to the academy after 4 games. Going to a new side where you know your role can just be refreshing. I think that's a fair point. Ethan Turner, this is a question for you guys. I won't read the full thing out. He met Leo Tennyson, one of the academy lads that had been let go. I'm not aware of him, to be honest. I won't say everything he said, like I said. He's really enjoying his time at Newcastle anyway. So I don't know if you guys heard of him. I can't say
Yeah.
Yeah, we know Leo. It's just them two comments tying well together. You mentioned earlier about who's the young brothers you've got? Kemp
Brothers,
made a cameo appearance, turned up, waved, says I've won a game, left, and then played for the academy at the weekend. Because that's good management of youth players. If you only get 5, 6, 10 minutes in a game and they're fit, they should still be able to turn out. We've been doing that. We've done that for a while. We've been building an academy that's getting better results. But the problem is, and I know players from my age, when my mates and my mum were getting signed, people like Chris Hill that went on to play for Rovers briefly. All of a sudden, you're not getting game time. And all of a sudden, you're not in the first team choice. And you're not quite sure if you're first team or academy. And then you go on loan and you end up being on loan for a few weeks. Players, genuinely, are just like us when we played rugby even at amateur level. We enjoyed playing week in, week out with the same teammates, having the same crack, having the same banter. And sometimes that means dropping down from the level where maybe you want to be, whether that's Super League, Championship and going down. And by all counts, it's great to hear that Leo's doing well and he's enjoying his time there because that's what you want.
We all played rugby because we enjoyed it, first and foremost. That's what we want.
Susan's randomly showing a photo of my mum with Leo Tennyson. It's actually at the grand final we won last year. It's in the bar afterwards, I know that. But
it is funny though, because Leo Tennyson's about 6'5", and your mum.
my mum used to be his dinner lady.
Oh well, yeah. Fair enough.
Full circle moment.
Yeah, apparently so.
We wondered if a Jack Moy in the Predictions League was the Jack Moy that you...
Yeah, just because I knew he worked with McLean and I was querying, is it Logan's brother? It could not be.
He's cleared it up. He does listen as well, and he thanks us for the nice words about his kid Logan. Thoroughly deserved nice words as well at the minute on basis of his performances. So, yeah, thanks for reaching out, Jack.
Absolutely, he's slotted straight back into the squad, hasn't he? And he's doing really well.
Is Logan Moy's performance, though, and I asked Jack this question, is it as good as mine and Jack's performance on Eggy Stag doing Newcastle all them years ago? Probably not.
Is it not?
No.
Only you can answer that out of all of us.
For a kid who was short on confidence, like Moy probably was, after sort of being overlooked, if you will, for the first team squad and things like that, the way he's come in and he's so confident under the high ball, he's not scared to run at a player that's twice as big as him. It's refreshing to see, and he's a whole lad, I believe. So it's great to see a whole lad coming in, playing at the top level and doing well.
He's slotted in so well.
It really has, so credit
I want
to
to
him.
see the guy in open space now. I just want to see
because
what
we had
he's
this
got.
discussion, didn't we,
We've not
about
seen
the
him.
fastest
Who
players in the
broke
Super
through?
League?
Was it Newman? I think Newman broke through on Friday night and just couldn't get the pass on the inside. So one of them did, and he was steaming through the middle up. I was hoping he'd get that pass and he just didn't. I want to see that guy in some open space, see what he's getting, because he's just not been able to get his nose through the line yet. But he's
I think that's because he's not fast and Jimmy's faster as he is now.
Okay, fair enough. But he's playing really,
I'm
really
joking.
well. Right, Danny Broughton.
Bronco!
You've asked 3 questions.
Don't let Kate do your predictions this week.
I can't really ask that first one, can I? I'm going to ask one of them, but I can't really ask who's on our hit list, can I? That's
Derek Beaumont.
Gemma Collins.
David A.
Because it's not right. We can't really go there. But I'm going to ask the time travel one. So if you could travel back to anywhere, or past or future, he says, where?
I messaged in the group earlier, didn't I? And I put, this is a tough one because there's so many choices. You could make it, depends which direction you want to go. Do you want to go familial? Do you want to go a sporting moment which lives in your memory and you wish you could go back and feel that feeling? Would you go back? I genuinely don't know. There's so many.
I've got 2. I've gone one really funny and James will kill me for one, but the other one's quite serious. Well, not serious, but yeah, the main one.
Serious air.
Yeah, I'd go back to 1989 and tell my dad to not do it, and my mum to stay away from my dad.
Told you she should have swallowed.
Oh, God.
Sorry, Jimmy's mum.
Serious one. I would like to go back to the Cup final in 2016, and I would like to witness it from sat in the gods at Wembley where there's probably no fans and just witness it on my own, just be in that moment and see, because I was caught up in it. I want to take it all in properly, which I never did.
Yeah. I think if I was to pick a sporting moment, it'd be Northern Rail Cup versus Castleford in 2005, where we won it. Bloomfield Road, not known for being beautiful, but in my head, it's the most beautiful place in the world. Like Byron Ford running down the wing, pointing at the Rovers fans as he's going, and just the overall weekend, the whole of it for me, it's just probably my all-time favourite Rovers moment, even more so than getting promoted, and maybe not winning the trophies, but up there.
I don't care about going forward. Future, it's not for me. I don't care about advanced technology and stuff like that.
I don't know what I can pick to go forward.
I love winding Jimmy up because he hates the fact that I don't want like the latest iPhone and things like that. Stuff like that has never bothered to me. I don't
Kid who
care.
sat there with 2 iPhones.
Yeah, but they're not the latest ones. Drug dealers need to. I'd always go back, and people romanticise going back hundreds of years. You don't realise how bad it was, back then. People's short life expectancy and dysentery and living in the slums. Realistically, I'd like to go back to something like the 60s. I'd like to be free. I don't want mobile phones. I want that thing of like, you meet in the pub on a Friday night and 10 of you meet up on a Friday night and there's no WhatsApp groups, there's no text.
And if you
don't turn up, you're like, well, why didn't Bill turn up? And you're like, I'll find out at work on Monday.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
you're slagging him off for the rest of the night.
And then it's like, oh, he was unwell or this happened. I'd love that. And also, to tie it into the sporting thing then, of going back to that, not only did people dress better, a bit smarter, you was more shirts and trousers and free love and more drugs and all that going in the 70s. But if you went back, for me, going back to the 60s, obviously wasn't there and got to experience that. It would also mean that I'd get to go to the 1980 final. And I always say when we discuss it, I want that. I want Hull to empty, Rovers and Hull at Wembley in the final. We have had it once. We know the result. I know from people, including my old man, what it was like to be there. I would love to have been there. And so I think if we tie into sport, that's it for me. So go back so that I'm maybe about 2025 when that happens. So I'm born in the 50s. So I'm post-World War II. I'm enjoying a life without this advanced technology. I'm old enough to drink and enjoy and remember Wembley for 10-5.
So my non-sport one then would be, I'd love to go back to VE Day, the end of World War II. The celebrations and the feeling that...
Oh, that's a good shout,
that must be... I heard you snickering over there, Susan, but the feeling and the emotions that people will have been feeling, just to party in the street with no worries.
Yeah.
Serious podcast we do.
And yeah, it's something that's always fascinated me, and that is somewhere that I think I would like to go and see and experience if it was
possible.
Permissible, possible.
Fair enough. And by the way, Jimmy, I was joking. I was. Right then, that's it for comment section. Get your questions in for next week.
Again,
as you can tell, we don't have to be sporting.
We went better with the non-sporting ones than we do with the sporting ones. It's like,
we waffle on for an hour and 10 minutes of talking about rugby.
True, yeah,
we can let our hair down for a little bit on something else.
Right then, Rovers preview this week. I can't see anything other than a Rovers win again. Not being big-headed, not being cocky or arrogant or anything like that. I just can't see it, and I think it'll be a hefty winning margin, shall we say.
If we was at Cass, I could see it playing out where it'd be a comfortable win, but it wouldn't be as big as the Hull win would. Just because, and then there'd just be the banter around, we can put 50 on them, you can't. It would have that feeling of that game. The fact that we are at home makes a massive amount of difference, and if you're not backing Rovers, I think you're wrong. I can't see anything happening.
I think you'll get a response off Cass, but I think the standard, like I said earlier, the standard Rovers, you'll just suffocate them early on.
See, now that took the words out of my mouth, but I do think they'll get a response. No, sorry, I'm saying I agree with you because we've seen this with Cass now. They turned over Wigan. They didn't turn over Wigan because Wigan were missing Smith and French. They turned over Wigan because they played to their strengths and they attacked the right areas and they played with a bit of heart and desire. On Friday night against you, they didn't have any of that. They seemed to fall by the wayside. If they bring some of that effort and that encouragement, we could find ourselves in a similar situation to the game we've just had where we open well, we get a few points on the board, and then we falter a bit where they turn around and get a foothold in the game and get a couple of points back, and then second half we blow them away. And you can easily see it being a 44-8 type of game. I'm just personally not seeing Rovers running off and winning by 60 odd points. But that doesn't matter because I'm just seeing a Rovers win.
I am. I'm seeing a big
I know you are, because you You gave us a little preview of your predictions earlier.
I did. But I do feel like, excuse me, we've been away like a couple of games and things like that. We've sort of seemed to be finding the right combinations in attack. We've got a full strength team across the board. Obviously, minus Bill Leyland, who is probably not even second choice hooker. He's probably third choice because Carl Lawton probably goes in at second choice hooker, maybe if Jez doesn't go 80. But I looked at the team squad and it's like 2 to 19, and then Jack Charles, Tom Whitehead, and somebody else underneath. I can't remember, but it's pretty much full strength what you'd expect to see, and I think you'll see a big Rovers win.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think we'll see a win. It'll be good to see that Gilly's back in, so obviously his injury wasn't major.
And Gilly.
Yeah, and Gilly's in as well. Yeah. And then did you know Oliver Gildart's back? Obviously, Budgie.
I saw that and just thought, no, I'm not even getting involved.
I actually meant to put Budgie, but because I was reading Gilly above it, I didn't.
Yeah.
So, idiotic blonde moment from me.
And then Budgie will be back, so that's good. So we'll be pretty much up at full. I'm not expecting much. I don't mind a Thursday game every now and again. I'm not always the biggest fan, but this one, the weather's been quite nice this week. I think it'll be jacket for going home weather, but maybe get your tan in the opening beers at Craven Street. But yeah, for me, I'm not too worried about this, which is a nice place to be at. So yeah, probably expect a good Rovers victory come Thursday night. Not much more to say from me.
Yeah, that's about it really. I don't think there's much more we can touch on with that. We've not got any major squad issues as it stands, as I've just alluded to with the squad numbers there. So yeah. So then, for the final time this month, we have our monthly calls shout out. This was sent in by Dave. Obviously, you've heard the story over the past couple of weeks, but we'll give you another rundown of it. His son Lucas was born in 2020 and very quickly became seriously ill. He was diagnosed with a rare heart condition, spent over 100 days in Leeds Hospital, underwent some major surgery, and even had to have his foot amputated due to complications, which, as a parent myself, just is horrific, and I'm sure you can attest to that as well, Dean. At one stage, the family were told to say their goodbyes, but little Lucas was a warrior. He was a fighter, and he fought. He's now 5 years old, an OKR fan, and an absolute little warrior. So we are supporting this month. Our £50 goes to the Children's Heart Surgery Fund, who have played a huge part in his care. If you just look at the bottom of the screen, at some point it'll come up. There's a QR code with a link to our, is it Just Giving we use? Our donation page.
It depends where their donation page is. Yeah. It could be on different platforms.
Wherever the donation page is, so whatever platform, it'll take you to there with a bit more information on there. It's just been a pleasure to be a part of it, really, to do a little thing, but what means so much to somebody else. I feel like we're part of something when we do things like this, and it's really nice.
Yeah, it's good. I'm enjoying what we've. I can't remember. I think we collectively come up with this idea to do it, and it's just. I think it's really
Gary,
good.
Wasn't it?
Was it Gary?
Gary,
yeah,
I believe. Yeah.
It's great. I think it's great, and there's a few more that we've got in the pipeline, I believe, and yeah, I'm looking forward to.
We'll keep sending them in. I believe there's one for next month already, but that doesn't mean there isn't one for the month after. And
don't forget, we've got the full year to do this, so get them in. Yeah. Me then?
You, yeah.
On my own again. I don't think he'll be coming to this one either, even though it's at home.
Depends how he is, doesn't it?
I don't like sitting on them chairs anyways.
They're horrible. I'd rather stand up.
Yeah, he would not enjoy it.
Well, we sit at the top as well, so it's...
So I was going to say, well, we sit in the box actually, Josh.
We do, Joshua. So, no, he's not getting up them stairs. I like him coming along, but I ain't moving seats. I've been really mean to him today, haven't I? Sorry, Jimmy. Carry on where we left off and build on that result. It's as simple as that. It probably won't be as simple as that on the game day, but that's got to be that. That's what I want to see.
On paper, it seems that easy, doesn't it? Yeah.
We should win, going by our results and their performances recently. But again, you don't win things on paper. We just got to keep that same mentality, keep building on what we were doing right last week, and get the job done. I know we've got No Sow, as you mentioned, he's failed his HIA. Newman and Matautier are back in again. I think Newman slotted in really well. He had another good game for us on Friday. I think Matautier, he looks a dangerous player. I think he just needs a bit more of a rugby league brain in him going along. That's thinking further ahead. But I can see a good player in him. And we won't see that good player in an Hull shirt. It'll probably be in another team shirt, Leeds or whoever. As far as I'm aware, I don't expect anyone else back. I don't know if Batchelor might be, but I've not heard anything in the news this week because he was close last week but just didn't make it. So we'll see.
Most of yours were longer term anyways.
Yeah.
There's more,
I think
4
we're
or 5
only
weeks
expecting
to go.
Batch back, Barron and Herman in a couple of weeks after that. So I think they're in and around the next month between them all.
I was going to say, didn't we speak early June for Herman, end of May, early June?
Yeah,
I think.
so around about the next month for all 3 of them, hopefully. So that'll
I think you're playing a dangerous game with Newman because you never know when that brain fart's going to come and he's going to do something to let the team down.
But
Yeah, you've had 2 weeks.
He's had 2 decent weeks where the effort's been there.
We talk about the young players like moving on and been quite refreshed. Maybe he's needed that. I wouldn't say he's become stale at Leeds, anything but he's got this move to Australia next year. So was he just seeing that time out? I don't know, but he seems to
Sometimes
fresh
different
lease of life for all. He's not lost his head yet.
No?
Yet.
Certain coaches, I don't even know what podcast it was, I can't remember who was talking about it, but certain coaches will just move you on the moment you are going somewhere else. And I'm not saying that's what's happened there, but Newman's fallen out of favour. Arthur doesn't want to look at him. He keeps letting him come to you week on week. He's put Jack Baird in that position and he's happy with that. And maybe it's just coincidence that's how it's happened. But if someone can get the best out of him, that's good for the player and good for the club that have got him. And right now, that looks good for you.
It's working all right for us. And we needed the bodies in. And like I say, it's working all right for us. I know,
Win-win for all parties, isn't it?
I do know going into next week, Last and Marler are due to speak about the possibility of longer-term recruitment options to aid our playoff push.
You're what, sorry?
Like I said, for me, week on week.
Get into the six.
They can talk about what they want to talk about. Fans can discuss what they want to talk about week on week for me. But the good thing is for me is they're having a chat regarding longer-term recruitment. And I think McNamara is going to be in on that conversation as well, by what I can gather.
I think he has to be.
He has to be, yeah. Because if it's going to be longer term, it's not just for this season, is it? But if we can get bodies in that aren't just for this season and for the seasons to come in, more bodies in. We've got the cap space, we've got the quarter space. If the right man comes along, hopefully we can use it and put it to good use. So
it is free thinking for me there. You've got to get into the six first. You've got to get into positive points difference first, because even that big win at the weekend didn't help you get into positive points difference.
I think we're a couple of points off now, aren't we?
Only a couple of points, still somewhere to go. Bringing players in mid-season is always a bit risky. Sometimes they can be superstars and help you out. Sometimes they don't gel. Maybe left it a bit too late. Also, I'm still struggling with you as a club to say, do you pass that smell test? Because when I look at the teams that are currently in the top 6 right now, which one are you better than to oust? Which one are you going to replace? Now, there's a long season to go. That 6 will change. The order will, and I probably don't think it will be that 6 come the end of the year. But yeah, for them to be talking about it is probably
that wasn't
wider.
them talking about it. That was written in the news article that I read.
It's probably what the wider fan base want to know.
That was added by Dan Tomlinson, I think, not by Last and Marler. He's just reported on they are due to have conversations next week, and he put at the end to aid a playoff push. So I think they're his words.
To be clear, I could see you doing it. I'm not saying you ain't got the quality or the ability to be in that 6.
Like I keep saying, for me, week on week, Toulouse Olympique on Sunday. Get that job done.
I think that's the right way to do it.
On Sunday as well, another Sunday game. I'm happy about that. Craig's time to shine.
Yeah, here we go then. Quick rundown then of our current standings amongst the presenters / general dog's body.
Don't call Jimmy that, just he's not here.
Right, can you all leave him alone, please? You're all being really evil to him.
That wasn't about Jimmy, that was him. I only said she should have swallowed.
He's been for major surgery and he's been given part of a dog's body. That's what I heard. No, don't be nasty to Jimmy, because he's really struggling with a cone, isn't he, at the minute? So.
Round his wrist.
Oh, God.
Anyways, so the general dog's body, Susan is leading the way, 52.75. Jimmy, I'm going to give him his proper name, is second, 49.50. Then it's myself on 48. I had a really good week. Dean on 47.25, and then Josh bringing up the rear, I nearly said the other phrase then, on 43.5. So, bit of work for you to do there, but...
Don't say out to him, because you know he peaks at the back end of the season.
I'm a back nine player.
Yeah.
It's a golf reference for you golfers.
Or non-golfers. That'd have made more sense, because golfers would have known what he was on about.
No, I wanted it just for the golfers. The rest of you can get in the bin.
All right, okay.
Speaking to my golfing
Not in
cohort
the
here.
hole.
Get in the pond.
Yeah. Golden cap this week goes to Faye Felmo, who is Faye Felmingham. Scored 11.75 points.
What a week that was.
It was. I looked and I thought, I must be up there for a decent week, because I knew I'd got a couple of results close, and I looked and I was like, holy Lord, she's absolutely smashed it.
What was the one result that was just wild that was discussing on the group? Was the one that she got spot on, or am I remembering something different here?
I'm not sure.
I just remember don't look for them, I just remember the discussion coming up and being like, yeah, she's doing really well there.
Was it the Castle one?
Are you referring to Castleford last week?
No, that was somebody else.
Anyways,
No, she got the Leeds result, I think, didn't she? Didn't she get the exact score?
Yeah,
Something
one
like
of them.
that.
And we was all chatting, weren't we? And so well done, because that was class.
Yeah, it was, yeah. And speaking of the guy who got the Wigan Castleford result spot on, he now gets the wooden spoon. Kieran Lee, Hull KC, 1 point he scored this week. 1 point, and I checked, all games were predicted on. So he's had an absolute
Where did he get his
week.
1 point?
The Rovers game. So,
Wow.
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 So on to this week's fixtures then.
Haven't you got a message to read out?
Have I? Oh, actually, yeah, I do, don't I? Hang fire, people. I think I started it.
I forgot about this.
I've just remembered when he says he backed Rovers. That's what
I actually remembered earlier because I was going to say something on an earlier section of the pod. I'm just pausing while we get
we
Craig's
can
fan
carry
bit.
on. We're good at small talk tonight, me and
We're
you.
real good at small
Yeah,
talk. Little people, aren't we?
Yeah.
But I then forgot to mention it then, and it's completely gone on my mind now. But I don't know what twigged in my mind. You were saying about the Hull results. Hopefully this is good for the listeners and watchers to hear me waffle.
Maybe so, yeah.
Hopefully.
I'm out of small talk now.
Are you really?
I'm done.
Oh, no.
What?
Dean, just for the listeners and that,
Okay.
do you genuinely enjoy Sunday games at the KCOM?
No, not at the KCOM. I enjoy away games on a Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't enjoy any games at the KCOM. I don't like the place. We all know that. I've made my feelings I've been quite vocal about that, to be honest.
You have.
See, I have had once been there, so I used to go to City in the Box quite a lot. I've been obviously for Rovers games and we've won. But I saw Bon Jovi there years and
Was that on
years
a
ago.
Sunday?
No, I can't remember. But I do remember enjoying it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Good.
Are you ready, Craig?
Yeah. So,
Well done.
This is from Ange. And I had to read the end of the message to make sure that I addressed her correctly. So, Ange, this one's for you. Hello. I'd resigned myself to win the wooden spoon this week, so thanks, Craig, for changing the award. You're welcome. About my choices, yes, I always back my team, even though sometimes I expect them to lose. I guess that's what you'd call a diehard fan. Going into it and just saying, we're going to do it this week, even though in your head, you're going to get dicked by 50.
So I'm not a diehard fan, I'm just a realist.
You're a realist, yeah. There's a difference between diehards and realists.
Well, all I'm saying is that you and Jimmy definitely didn't back FC this week, but I'm sure Ange did.
Yeah, because we won.
Yeah, it's true. With regards to Rovers, yes, last year I put them to lose most weeks, but this year I will be doing what I think they will do rather than what I hope. That bit really tickled me. Love the podcast, which is always great to hear. Makes a change to hear some honest views.
We try. We do
yeah,
try.
we do try. And then with regards to a name, this is why I had to read the end. It's anything but Angie. Most people call me Ange or Gilla from the end of a name. So
Yeah, and that's on me because I brought this up the other week and said there's a lady on it, there's Angie Holden.
Angie Holden,
and that's
yeah,
right.
that's
So
right.
I got your name wrong. I apologise, Ange. Thank you for clarifying because I knew I'd seen you back in against Rovers last year. But thanks for listening, thanks for watching. It's really nice to hear from you and to understand your thought process because
Absolutely.
surprisingly sometimes when people just go with the heart rather than the head, they end up scoring better points anyways. But yeah, cheers for
Which
getting
is
in
what
touch.
I've done this week. We've always So yeah, always great to hear from people. Good messages, what they're called, constructive criticism messages. We take them all on board. Maybe not so much constructive criticism ones because I don't like criticism, but you know. And anyways, so starting this week then, it's us at home, Soul Group Craven Park, Hull KR versus Cass. Rovers by 56. I've gone for it this week.
You have gone big, haven't you?
Rovers by 32.
Rovers by 30.
Jimmy has Rovers by 30 and Susan has Rovers by 24. So apart from me, you're all ballpark. I've just
6 points, 8 points between us. Yeah.
Eight-
Craig goes out
8
on a limb.
points.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, why not? Headingley then, Leeds versus Wakefield. Tough one to call, but Leeds by 14.
I've got Leeds by 6.
Leeds by 10.
Leeds by 10. Jimmy has Leeds by 12 and Susan has Leeds by 10. Over to the Brewdog, St Helens versus York. I've got another big win here. I've got Saints by 38.
Saints by 14.
I've gone old school, for me anyway. I've gone Saints by 25.
Jimmy has St Helens by 12 and Susan has St Helens by 16. The Brick, Wigan versus Bradford. I've got Wigan by 20.
I've got Wigan by 10.
Wigan by 14.
14. Jimmy's got Wigan by 10 and Susan's got Wigan by 20. Stade Gilbert Brutus in the south of France, Catalans versus Lee. I've got Catalans by 12.
Well, Catalans by 6.
Catalan by 10.
Jimmy has Catalans by 14 and Susan has Catalan by 6. So across the board there. Acu Stadium, Huddersfield versus Warrington. Warrington by 26.
Wire by 16.
Way by 18.
Jimmy's got Wire by 16 and Susan's got Wire by 16. So Warrington across the board there. Not too much differentiation here between, apart from score-wise, we've all predicted the same
This
team
could
to
be the
win.
first week we've all gone the same, because I don't think we've done it yet this year.
Maybe. Depends what Josh has done on this
know.
last one. MKM then wrapping up the weekend on Sunday. Hull FC versus Toulouse. All by 42.
You went on James's medication.
He did go wrong the other day, didn't
Yeah,
he?
he did, didn't he? Did he do a Milka bar spot, whatever it was?
Some amitriptyline, yeah.
I've got FC by 18.
Toulouse by 20.
Not bad, you confused me then. Jimmy's got all by 16 and Susan's got all by 12. First one this season where we've all agreed on the winning team.
What a boring week.
The winning margins will be what separate us, and I think I'm 7 from 7 with all winning margins there. Watch this space. Watch it.
I can't say no, because if he is, you know what he's going to be like.
It just doesn't feel nice to try and put massive scores in, does it? It just doesn't feel right.
It done, and I think that's why majority of times most of us haven't, even though we've probably thought that they were possibly going to be.
What did Jimmy do? Was it Salford last year? By any other team but Salford who was playing, it was by 40. Dead on the... Was
48, I think it was,
40?
yeah. 'Cause I think he thought that was a winning margin, where it wasn't, it's only 24.
Yeah.
If you don't turn up in it.
Okie dokie. So, be remiss not to talk about it. How good was it to see the York fans singing happy birthday to Paul Vaughan? No? Okay, we'll just close the podcast.
Yeah, just on that note.
No, as we wrap up, I want to say thank you as always to our main sponsor, Comscaff. Thank you for being our main sponsor and everything you do for us. And as always, thank you to Tribal, the home of the pod. As you can see, we are always here, and that's where we record because it is our home. We would like to say thank you for listening, thank you for watching. However you do watch or listen, please make sure that you like and subscribe. And as always, particularly on YouTube, if you do subscribe, you get the videos sent to the top of your homepage and you get reminded when a new video is released every week. And also, if you can click that hype button, you can do it 3 times a week, we're told reliably. It really helps push the video up the views. The more views we get, the more money we get in, the more help we get, the more exposure we get, the more we'll record. And you know, you keep watching, we'll keep doing it. And as Craig likes to say, why not just share an episode with a mate? You never know. They might tolerate us, and that's all we can ask for.
Even if it's just for one episode.
Might.
Even if it's just for one. But we did break the 2K view barrier the other week.
So what can you do?
Admittedly, it was after a derby, and people may have watched back. numerous times, but we broke the 2K barrier for the first time as a pod.
And that's just viewing figures, not listening figures. But yeah, just however you want to come in, listen, view, watch. It doesn't really matter which way you do it. We just appreciate you tuning in. So yeah, please keep doing it. Thank you very much. So from me, I'll be the first one to say this evening. See you bye.
See you bye.
See you bye.